Alright everyone, welcome back to the Samui Swine Classic, the 7th edition presented by Innova Champion Discs. This is back half of round 2. I'm Nate Perkins and I'm joined here in the booth with 5-time world champion
Paige Pierce. Here we are on hole 12, which is also hole 1. We played this loop 2 times, so we're going to see these guys get a little bit of redemption. We saw some rain and some wind in the front loop, so trying to get some more birdies now that the weather's cleared
more
up.
Birdies. The sun is back out, and James with old greenie, just a little bit deep. He's going to have to straddle around that palm.
And going into this round, Weston was at 15 under and Philo was at 14 under. And you were at 9 under and James was at 8 under. So you can see the scores have kind of evened out. And
yeah, so James shot an 8 down on the front. I shot a 3. Weston shot 1 and Philo shot a 5. So James led the way on that front loop, and the rest of us are definitely looking to improve quite a bit.
Weston with a nice harp shot right at the basket, a little bit of hyzer at the end.
Quite a bit better than he did last time. As guys, remember he hit that left side Mando tree.
And Philo in a pretty similar position that he was in on the first go around, a little bit obstructed by that palm frond, but he makes that putt.
What'd you call it?
Palm frond?
Palm frond?
Frond? Isn't that what it's called? Thought it was. Oh no, Weston. Unfortunate, honestly uncharacteristic airball
from circle
miss.
1 for sure. Very uncharacteristic.
Weston is always challenging the win at every putting competition he goes to. James, a little bit of a hindered stance there, straddled out, having to put it over that palm frond. Now I'm questioning it. Weston, good correction there. Sometimes, when you miss a putt like that, you
can get in your head for many putts to come, especially during a round when you don't have the opportunity to practice and get that stroke back.
Oh, good. Way to check out every option.
Yeah.
Take your time, make the right decision. From a knee there. Guys, leave a comment below. What do you call these things? Is that a palm frond? Tell me what's the real name for this.
All right, hole 13, 279 feet. This drone is about to fly through the biggest gap. You need something that's going straight and has that late drift to the right. Philo has been throwing this one pretty well with this DX rock.
Going up the left side, trying to flip it.
That is money. Look at that one drift from left to right. Catches that mound that's right next to the bucket and kicks him off into the left.
There is OB down there left, but I don't think he kicked quite far enough to find that. And this is how the hole is supposed to be thrown, I feel like. The flex sidearm that just continues straight and then hyzers after that little mound.
Yeah, that was probably as good as I've ever thrown it.
And James was just an inch off on this shot earlier. He still got up there with a putter.
Oh, that's getting through everything on that right side. Scoots up inside the circle.
Weston with that signature thumber of his, looking for that skip on the left side.
And it did. It got on its backside and just kind of scooted on that really low cut grass and skipped up there. It actually hit that same mound that Philo did. Oh, man.
I love watching Philo's putt.
Absolutely.
So smooth. Good mix of push and spin, and just like hits those chains so softly but just so confidently.
Oh, and Weston following it up. What a beautiful stroke.
All right. He doesn't want Philo to get too much more ahead of him. He's now 5 off of Philo's pace. And he's got some work to do to keep a battle going with Philo. Right, James moves up to 16 under, tying it up with Weston in that second position. And we're headed into hole 14. This one's 197 feet, island hole. Easy to two it, but also easy to four it. The OB is just barely behind the basket, and you have to proceed to a drop zone that sits inside circle 2.
You've seen Philo pretty dialed with this standstill AVR approach. You can see he's standing still, but his hips are already kind of open, so he's very, very precise when he's in that standstill position.
And he's feeling the love from the people over there that rented the houses right on the course. They're cheering him on. Got a good gallery going today as well. And this is very good speed control. It's an elevator down, losing speed right by the basket. James now with his signature AVR. His was much lower than yours, more direct line at it. Both worked out perfectly well. This kind of
That's kind of James's way of controlling the distance right there, is kind of just throwing it hard, but throwing it toward the ground.
Yeah. Weston going with the height you were going for. His is just a little bit more stable of a disc, so he finds himself farthest away at about 19, 20 feet. But he converts. The rest of you will have easy tap-ins, and we will have a star birdie here. It's crazy how the different, how much of a difference each hole is temperature-wise. We saw James in his sunglasses to start, then we saw you guys dealing with the rain, and now you see the sun coming back out. All right, this one's sponsored by PaigePierce.com.
Sweet.
Check it out. Hole 15, 305 feet, dead straight, but the gap does not allow you to throw it very straight. You have to get a little bit of a late turn.
That was one of the funniest little spoofs anybody.
It's such a tricky birdie.
Zach Melton and he's Bob Ross in it. That was so funny, man.
I believe Philo is passing around
I was like, finally.
a postcard
That was funny.
for everyone to sign.
Just gonna paint a little line down the fairway. There's a pretty little tree, but don't worry about that. Middle gaps,
All right, we saw Philo speed things up here with the T-Bird. Starting this one out with a little bit of angle. Oh, and it hit that perfect, and it hits the tree to keep it from going long.
You're going with the sidearm here.
That's right, that same FD3, and I finally hit the window. It's all the way down in there.
James at the backhand rock. Oh, he was looking at your line you just took with the late flip on the mid, and he kicks way right. Did he miss that Mando? It was hard to tell.
I don't think so.
Okay. He's going to have a hard time getting up and down from that side of the fairway, though. Looks like he's going wide around it, skipping it in. Oh my gosh. That was a great shot.
A beautiful recovery shot with that Firebird.
Weston just threw that thumber a tiny bit too high, gets some branches, and kicks him down halfway to the basket.
Oh, and Weston almost makes it with that keystone. And this putt is actually for 7 birdies in a row. Feeling real good about that one. Philo loved that one, commentating it. as it made its way to the heart of the chains. And that is Philo for a birdie, extending his lead, moving to 23 under par. He's got 6 strokes over James and Weston and 7 over myself. All right, we are moving into the par 4, hole 16 at 627. Again, there's OB right at the start of that thick tree line. There's also OB left that kind of shapes the left side of that fairway as it moves from left to right and closes back and around this pin. There are a bunch of different ways to play this hole off the tee.
Philo likes that right side gap with a stable disc.
Oh, wow.
You can see the disappointment and almost just disbelief. Ricochets hard to the right, and he's going to be so far out of position and maybe even out of bounds. I like your play on this one, though, with the flex sidearm down the left side. You're going to land in a good spot to choose your gap you want to hit on that second shot. James is following your gap, but on a backhand anhyzer release. Doesn't get quite as far as yours.
I think he's going to be in a pretty decent position, though. Again, James is playing that one pretty conservative with that mid-range shot. And this is Weston with an Explorer, and this looks like it's heading way up the fairway, and just as I say it catches that palm. I forgot about that one. That one was just looking amazing. And Philo's so pinched off on the right side that he actually has to go forehand and plays it perfectly. He is back in the center of the fairway. Anything right where Philo was kind of brings the bogey into play.
Absolutely. Oh, no.
And that was worst case scenario right there. Weston with the overhand catches a high palm, and it actually kicks him left and across the out of bounds line. And James going with that right side gap with his stable T-bird. Gets the very bottom of that low ceiling.
And you have a wide open look at this left side gap with a high hyzering sidearm that just digs right by the basket. Good approach there from Weston, but he is going to card an overstroke with that out of bounds kick. If you guys have ever played around palm trees, I'm sure you know it's very common when you hit a palm tree, you get a huge kick. These things send your disc flying.
James's routine is so consistent.
It really is.
A little high, but that's in, and that's actually 8 birdies in a row for me. I'm feeling real good about that stretch.
Yeah,
to just keep pace with these guys.
You absolutely should. 8 birdies in a row is something to feel good about. Weston carding a bogey here. You actually jump him. And, you know, you're moving up.
Yeah, still 6 back of the leader, Philo. Moving into hole 17, the longest par 3 on the property, 436 feet. We've seen Philo take that up the middle route on a slight anhyzer with his Star Destroyer. We've also seen it successfully converted on the right side, something that is just penetrating forward and then hyzering late, and that is just a little too much turn.
You threw it perfectly on the first loop, but you landed about 40 short, so just trying to get a little bit more power on that one.
Yep. And this is James switching to a Wraith here.
Oh, wow. A much better release from James than the last lap.
Needs a skip and
gets two of them.
Getting one and a small roll. He's pin high. Philo going with a more technical route with the destroyer, and that is looking crisp.
He's hit that gap every round so far. That is not an easy gap to hit,
No,
and I'm just very impressed by that. That's about the same line he took when he got that famous albatross of his, right? Big Anheuser flex.
That's right. And Weston, beautiful shot with that gladiator.
You can see this one has a little bit of some imperfections in the grass early in the fairway. It's got some mounds and some ditches. That was a really good shot with the questionable footing there.
And James has to go to a straddle. No. And he's been just a little bit off this round. He had mentioned just a bit. Oh no, and Philo misses left side as well.
Oh,
and he goes straight to tying the shoe.
You could tell that was in his head before he putted it. He, as soon as, before the putter even hit the ground, he was already tying his shoe. Just goes to show you every single thing that is external can get into a player's head, and really just, you gotta take a second and reset if something like that is in your head. And he's very disappointed in himself that he could have had a birdie there and extended his lead, but things happen. Moving into hole 18, 344 feet. This one's brought to you by Capital City Flyers. This one is a really fun one to throw. You have a Mando on the left side about a third of the way down the fairway that you have to make sure you kind of flex a backhand with something stable to turn it and make that Mando, but then hyzer back by the basket.
Exactly, Paige. And you can see Weston lining that exact shot up. He's going stable fairway here with a spark, and that is money right there.
Ooh, wow, that thing is very stable.
Yeah, flexing out just a little bit early. Attempting the same line that Weston just threw.
Getting a little more. Oh no.
That was coming back
in. It was coming back in. That one, I was going to say you were getting a little bit more distance than Weston, who is going to find himself on the short side of the basket. You were looking to be right at pin high, but hit that last tree. James opts for a different approach to this hole. He throws a mid-range on a hyzer flip right at the basket, and that one doesn't stand up in time and hits the Mando tree, kicking him way right. Philo, similar line as you, but a little bit lower and doesn't give it time to hyzer back towards the basket.
And that's the first time that we've seen him outside the circle on that hole.
Yeah, he's been parking this shot. James waiting on the motorbike to pass through, headed home.
Asking for that one to sit down, and it does leak a little long. Pushed that one a little right. Had to kind of go to a straddle, a little bit uncomfortable putt. Philo is able to go to his normal putting stance right here.
Just didn't quite push off enough off that back leg and get it a little bit more power. He's looking up asking why. Weston now getting a birdie, getting one shot closer to Philo.
Oh, and that's a great putt back into the wind for a par.
All right, we got a little gallery that's going to be walking away from the snack station and following you guys over to hole 8, which on this second loop is hole 19. 312 feet, OB left, OB deep, Mando short right, about halfway down the fairway. This one's really beautiful. I like all the palm trees, and you know, if you do overthrow this one, that dip down towards the OB creek, it definitely comes into play and makes it challenging.
I love the sand on the green too. Oh, and that one got a really sharp kick to the right, and it found the small creek that makes the out of bounds line over there on the right side.
That was just a huge skip.
And here's that same Color Glow MD3.
Nice
Loving
scout.
how that one flies.
James with the huge run up here. As far as he can get back before that fence. Going with a putter. Hyzer flip. Started turning way too quick. Hit a tree and kicked left. But he did not find the out of bounds that is left. So that's one positive from that.
You can see the difference between James and Philo's run up. Philo just taking 2 baby steps. Oh, and same result right there. Hitting that same tree, both on solid lines.
Philo's, the only real difference there besides the footwork was the disc speed. Philo went with a rock there. One beautiful thing about disc golf is all the different ways you can attack a hole. It's really fun to watch. 4 of the best players in the world throw this hole so differently. Wow. Great Anheuser nose up bid. That was just elevatoring down towards the basket, but just a tiny bit high. Weston has this to save par.
Oh, just a few inches low.
And I can see your Color Glow MD right there. The only one in birdie position. You're going to pick up 2 on Weston after that OB tee shot and move ahead of him.
Ooh, that one tried to come back out. Yeah, after such a slow start for this round, I'm happy to be back on track, moving to within 5 strokes of Philo. And that's a pretty healthy lead at such a small birdie course.
Yeah, when every hole is you're able to get a birdie, you really have to, once you get a start, you have to know that it could be yours if you keep it going.
Throwing an MD4 on a little baby Anheuser forehand right there. That's inside the circle. And James is going with his flippiest putter right here. He's going to start this out on steep hyzer, and look how much it turns and drifts back to the right. Really beautiful disc golf right there. And Philo again going with that kind of open standstill.
The main...
Too easy.
Yeah, that was amazing. The main difficulty on this hole is the height that you put your disc on. Too low, you're coming up short. Too high, you're also going to come up short because of those branches. So these players are making it look easy, but this is one that is hard to get close.
Oh, yes. That's a big putt from circle's edge. Good birdie from Weston. Looking like another all-star from the group, if I can convert right here.
All right. We got 2 holes left in the second round. And what a different story than when we started this round. The scores were quite separated. Philo, like you said, does have a little bit of a healthy lead, but you guys are closing the gap on second, third, and fourth.
All right, moving into hole 21, 197 feet. Pretty tricky little par 3 right here. There's a few different gaps. And that is an MD3 through that same gap. Feeling real good about that line at this point. James going kind of straight at it. That's pretty much the most direct route that you can take right there. And he is 2 for 2 on that route. We saw Philo hit that palm. He pushes that one just longer than last time and gets around it. He's inside circle 1. And Weston going with a real flippy keystone right there. You saw that one kind of straighten out and drift back to the right.
And you got the spectator in the background already walking to the last hole. He knows you're going to hit that putt. He doesn't need to watch. Right in the center. Good focus on that. With that bright Thailand shirt. If you guys haven't heard, these shirts were given away in the players pack to every player. Customized jersey with your name and your PDJ number and your country on it. Good hit there from Weston. And Philo getting a birdie as well. All right, and you guys are picking up the pace here, carding a lot of birdies in this later part of the round.
Yeah, that was back-to-back all-stars from the group. And we are moving into hole 22, 197 feet, heading back toward Nigel's house. The biggest gap is right there on the left. I'm taking this Color Glow FD3, trying to give it angle.
I like this play on this hole. You know, a lot of players go slower speed disc, but I like your flex line on it. It makes the gap bigger. James is going with a putter. Hyzer flip.
Oh no, and he squares the smallest one of the 5 trees you need to miss right there. It's got to be real frustrating. You know, those gaps are really small.
Philo trying to go more, starting it more left to give the gap a little bit more room, but almost a little bit too left. He gets way down there, though. I love this shot from Weston. Just a really spinny harp shot. He knows it's got some stability at the end of the flight and good distance for this hole. James had a big one on this on the first loop. See if he can do it again. Oh my gosh. 2 tries on this hole, both outside the circle putts, right back at the crowd.
Absolutely. That was 50 plus right there. I'm loving it. James is loving it. Oh, and a
replay front half and
Terry.
back half. Like we said.
Oh, wow. Look how identical that is. That is insane.
That's awesome.
Wait, those are different putts?
Yeah, that's the front half and the back half.
That's awesome.
All right, now you got about a 25-footer. The chains are still moving.
No.
Oh, that was a solid stroke and right in the center. If anything, a half a centimeter left, but that one should have stuck, I feel.
Yes.
Weston.
Gets it to stick on the right side. Always feels good to finish with the birdie.
Yeah, it does. Philo carding the birdie as well and gonna extend his lead
Yeah, Philo is going to be going into the final round with a 5-stroke lead over Weston and James and a 6-stroke lead over myself. That is an incredibly comfortable lead here on
A
Koh
course
Samui.
like this,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All of you guys in the double, in 20 under par or more. Let's check out an interview from Philo.
I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. I'm joined by our now new leader in Philo Brathwaite. Philo, I saw rain for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was prepared for it, myself included.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks up on you around here. They call it the liquid sunshine. It just pops up and then it's gone, and then it pops up and it's gone, and you dry off.
Well, it seemed like maybe a little bit of a reset for some of the card out there. There was a few struggles from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Our leader Weston, maybe a little bit of pressure as he opened up with a struggle on the very first hole, and then we kind of saw everyone fight through that. How did you maintain focus throughout?
I'm just trying to have fun, trying to change my attitude a little bit. It's been a struggle, sometimes in the past, getting too hot, too cold, I get a little fired up sometimes, but I'm trying to keep it more mellow. But in general, I'm just having fun. I'm enjoying myself being here. The guys are great I'm playing with, and they're good competition. And we all want to win. We all want to play well. So, we're taking our lumps and trying not to, get too beat up about it and just try to keep it pushing.
Do you feel like having now a comfortable lead going into the final round, is it too easy to rest on that, or does it make you feel more comfortable?
I feel all right on this course. I mean, 5 should be enough to, keep my distance. It's just, if James or Nate gets on a run or something, I can't get all clammy and shell up, and, I just got to keep playing. I mean, there's plenty of birdies out here. I don't have to birdie them all. It seems like 6, 7 per loop is good enough to kind of stay, in the mix. But if James gets hot and rolls out, a couple of 10 packs, then, it might make things interesting. You never know.
Well, you're a veteran here of the course and, of course, of traveling here. But what I want to know is from this round, I'll replay it as you're describing it. Give me your personal highlight from this round.
Personal highlight. I think I hit a pretty big putt towards the end of the first loop that kind of got me going. I think it was on hole 10 over there. I, kind of weakened my drive a bit, and it's such a short hole, it's easy to do, and I just kind of didn't fully commit to it, even though it's only like a 150-foot shot, and whacked a tree and went the wrong direction. I'm like, oh, great, here we go, you got to make these birdies now, you're struggling, and then I knocked it in, and I was like, all right, maybe we can get the mo going. Then I pulled off a nice little 7 streak after that, 7 birdies in a row, and then flatlined again, but, that was the putt that kind of kept me going. Let me know I'm still in the battle.
All right. Well, always keeping with it, keeping that positive focus. And we're enjoying our time in Thailand. I don't know why you're not here. Philo doesn't know why you're not here.
What are you doing?
Exactly. It's crazy. We're going to catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
Mañana.